And welcome to today's Katie Examines, where I thought, given that practically everyone I know at the moment seems to be off work or school with colds and coughs, that it would be quite useful for me to give you some really essential Chinese medicine self-treatment advice as to what you can do to ensure that you actually either don't catch these dreaded lurgy that circulate now, or that if you do unfortunately have one, what you can do to help yourself. So let's start. So the great thing about Chinese medicine is that it works for so many different conditions, and that if you actually understand what to do, you can really treat yourself so well. So when we're dealing with colds or coughs, let's look at why we're catching them in the first place, okay? Because in Chinese medicine, we have something called qi, which is energy. But apart from the one word qi, there's like hundreds of different varieties of qi that we talk about. We have like defensive qi and upright qi, and now my mind's gone blank, but there's like loads of different ones, okay? And the defensive qi is called wei qi, okay? And the idea is that it circulates just under the surface of the skin. And if you have strong defensive qi, you tend to be one of these people that just simply doesn't get sick. So at the moment I'm filming this to you for the purposes of anyone watching this in the future. We are kind of the 10th of October. So we're in autumn. And what happens in autumn is it's the season of the lungs. And the lungs are responsible for Wei Qi and also are responsible for the basic health of the body when we are breathing in pathogens. Okay, now pathogens are kind of like the dreaded lurgy. And the front line of defense is up here on your chest, okay, because this is where your lungs are. Now, unbeknown to most people in the West, that there's also a back area of defense, which is here, okay? So here's my spine, and there's that lumpy bit. Hope you can hear me. There's the lumpy bit at the top. I'm going to show you now, right? There's the lumpy bit. That is a really important area, okay? So when we are looking after people in clinic and someone comes to you with a cold, or they've got that like yucky feeling, or they're feeling a bit weak anyway, we tend to do something called cupping, where we'll whack a cup on that lumpy bit at the top of the back to make sure that we can actually release the pathogen to the exterior via the skin, okay? There's a really important acupuncture point right there, and we as therapists know that we can do that. But I'm talking to you about self-treatment. So what is it that you can do for yourself that's going to actually mirror that and save you spending 50 to 100 pounds on someone doing it for you? And the answer is gua sha, okay? So here we have the lovely body restorer, and the reason why I included this as one of the original products that I launched with back in the day was because it's really, really good, okay? So it's a one-off purchase at £38, which basically lasts you an entire lifetime. So the most important thing you can do at this time of year is take your gua sha and basically every single day, without fail, before you go to bed at night, use some of the Hey You body oil, put it over your chest, and then use the rounded edge of the tool and gua sha over the chest like this, okay? And then over the upper back like this. So it's quite easy to access that point. I'm going to turn around again, right? Look, I'm just going over the top of the neck and over the back here, okay? Now, if you've got a partner at home, it's actually easier to do each other's back, okay, than do your own. But if you don't, doing your own will suffice. I do my own every single night. I do have a partner, but chances of getting him to actually gua sha my back each evening is slim to none. So I crack on with it myself with my body restorer. So it's kind of going to take you about 1 to 2 minutes to cover the surface area. And what you're going to do is you'll notice that it's going to come up ever so slightly red. And that's what you want, okay, because what that's doing is it's stimulating this all-important Wei Qi and allowing the lungs to do their job properly, which is if someone sneezed on you, or you've got air conditioning units, or you're sitting on the tube and someone's snotting and breathing all around you, then you've got a really good chance of using the gua sha to actually keep your body straight and strong in the first place. So that's a really simple technique in order to avoid getting a cold in the first place, or if indeed something has now got a foothold in the body. Because when a pathogen has got a foothold, it tends to be sitting up in the lungs. We're kind of all bunged up, we've got loads of mucus, we've got hacking coughs. It's the lungs. The body's producing large quantities of phlegm in order to try and get everything up and out through the throat, through the nose, through the eyes. This is why it starts to stream, okay? So therefore, it's also very important at this stage to use gua sha to try and assist the body to actually not get the cold in the first place. Now, if you do have a cold or a cough, there is a fantastic tea that I make for anybody and everyone, which absolutely works. So I'm going to do some other live feeds, which are called Katie's Kitchen, where I shall be basically showing you how to make really, really simple Chinese kitchen recipes. And this particular one is going to be called Cinnamon Twig Decoction. It's really easy to make. You literally just whack a load of ingredients into a teapot and you drink loads of it. So I will show you how to make that on a separate feed. So keep your eyes peeled on my IGTV and it will be there for you. But suffice to say, if you are going down with a cold, use your gua sha, but also the best possible thing you can do is allow the body temperature to go up, drink plenty of fluids, go and rest for one day, go under your duvet, give yourself 2 duvets, not 1, and loads of fluids. And you want to try and open the body's pores and sweat this pathogen out. Because again, we're dealing with the lungs and the skin is the second lung. So if you actually just don't soldier through it and actually give in and go, right, I'm actually going to just allow this cold to get out of my body to deal with this cold, then what you do is you just rest, drink, sweat. Okay, and that's the best possible thing you can do. And then you'll give yourself maybe 1 a day, maybe 2, and then you've shifted it out. So there's some really good advice in terms of what to do when you've actually got the cold or cough. There's one last thing that I wanted to talk about today, because we are launching a brand new product called the Bamboo Tapper, or should I say, sorry, the Body Tapper Bamboo. Sorry, here it comes. Ta-da! So excited about this. It's the most fantastic tool. It's the missing link in our launch product range because it's taken me a while to get it just right. But here it is. So it comes in this lovely environmental tube, like a poster tube, made of bamboo. And then what you're doing is you tap the body with this every single day. And this is a fantastic piece of kit in your anti-cold armory, okay? Because by stimulating the skin and stimulating the oxygen to work into this all-important Wei Qi, you're actually protecting your body's immune system and giving yourself a really good chance to avoid getting the colds and coughs in the first place. So that is a nice little IGTV post all about colds and coughs. I hope you find it useful, and do tune in for the cinnamon twig decoction recipe and I will give it to you. Okay, take care. Bye.